Guys, welcome back to What If Deku at the Omnitrix Part 5. Now, part 3 to 5 is my least favorite part because there's not really that much anything. He's just learning how to use the characters. But after this part, it'll be way better. Anyway, enjoy. Wrong recording. Hey guys, I'm back. Time. So every time he uses this alien, he switches to another alien. There's a cooldown time. I just don't say it. Like during the cooldown time, during the 15-minute cooldown time, Deku's basically just writing down what he learned about the alien. And so there is a cooldown time, and I think sorry. Sorry. I'm going to put that in, incorporate that now. Anyway, Deku, so he took a break. So now now he's on Sunday. He didn't take a break on Sunday. He did the aliens on Sunday. So basically, what he did was, and he's not using the omnitrix a lot. That's why he didn't do it all in one day. He doesn't want to, he feels like he doesn't want to use it a lot. But anyway, so he turns into the one that seems most interesting to him. He turns into a four-armed Tetraman, which is also known as forearms. So as Tetraman, he's not that fast. He's probably as fast as he was in his normal form. But he does learn something. He can jump really high and consistently jumping. And the first thing he tests, and then the second thing he tests out is obviously his strength, because he has 4 arms. Of course, for the first time, it's a little weird having 2 extra arms. But then Deku starts lifting up some of the trash on the beach, and he realizes he can lift up, refrigerators with 2 hands. Yes? Wait. Let me pause this. Anyway, forearms can lift up 900 pounds, as he currently is. He can max 900 pounds. That means he's not going to lift up 900 pounds like it's nothing. He's going to, be straining a little, That's the max he can lift up. And then, yeah, that's really all forearms can do. He tests, but while he's lifting stuff up, he accidentally slips and drops it on him. And then he wakes up, but he does hurt a little, but not that much. So he realizes that this one is a little tough, too. Then he times out. Minutes, he's just, thinking and writing down the notes. And then when the omnitrix is back in, he says he chooses to go to the other one. I forgot the name, but he chose to go into Diamond Head. So the other one is his strength transformation. This one is his diamond transformation. And then he goes into his Diamond Head, and then he's like, cool. He's like, okay, so I'm a big crystal. And he starts wondering what he can do. He thinks he is strong, but Diamond Head can max lift up to 400 pounds, which is max. So which is half of what 4 arms could lift. And it's still max, so a little strain. And then we learn that, Deku, he was trying to run fast. And Diamond Head is slow too. So nothing happened. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can put in his shapeshift. He's not shapeshifting, but I'm trying to figure out how I can put in his being able to make swords out of his hands and shooting crystals from his hands. We're gonna make it that he learns how to shoot crystals later. But anyway, I'm gonna do the sword thing now. So Midoriya's just throwing punches at refrigerators, trying to test out the endurance, and he doesn't really feel that much. It's like he's like put your hand in a fist and lightly tap it on your hand. It feels like that, just lightly tap your hand on your fist. That's how it feels. So he realizes that what he thought was that this is gonna be his most endurance form, and he was right. And then while he was punching, he does finishing blow, and then he ended up stabbing right through the thing with a sword, and he's like, whoa, and he de-transforms, and he thinks of ways, blah blah blah. Now, one day, he just relaxes. Everything's normal. He's a little afraid because Bakugo's coming back to school on Tuesday. He's not, afraid, but Midoriya's still nice. No matter what, he's still nice. So he doesn't want Bakugo to be mad at him. But anyway, he just chilled on Monday, not using the omnitrix at all, beginning to take a break from all the craziness. Maybe a bit on Monday, he ends up telling his mom about his new quirk, as I'll say, just so he wouldn't have to keep waking up lies. And he tells her it's an omni quirk. I got it from somebody else's What If channel when they were when it was time to name the heroes, and Deku was like the Omni hero, and he said something else. Anyway, sure. So now Tuesday's here, and Midoriya saying that how he wants to get to. Midoriya goes to school normally. No, Midoriya goes to school, and Bakugo is back. Bakugo's a little mad that he was suspended for 1 week, and he was grounded, of course, because he was really mad at Deku. So he said, Deku, after school, meet me outside. Okay, and everybody heard this, even the teachers, but the teachers don't care for some reason, so they just overlooked it. And then Bakugo's like, I'm trying to figure out how this can't be weird. Bakugo's like, we're gonna fight. And he's like, I don't wanna fight you. And but he says if you wanna fight, he starts behind his back, starts turning the omnitrix and hitting a random one. And bam, Stinkfly comes out. And then Bakugo talks to attack him, he's like, I can't do anything with this. And then he shoots goo at Bakugo, immobilizing him. Then he tries to run away and then ends up flying away. And Bakugo's like, what? And then everybody's just astonished, Everybody's just astonished. And then he flies to the beach, and then let's say he flies to the beach in 3 minutes. So he tests out this alien super quick because he wants to go home. Because let's say in three weeks, yes, he wants to go home. And but he trains it, so he finds out that this alien has a sharp tail, which can rip through objects with ease. And then he finds out he can fly, obviously. He wants to see if he can swim, but that's a bad idea, and he almost ends up drowning. So he learns that he can't fly if his wings are wet. Then he said he did something with his eyeballs. Then he tries to shoot something, and it shoots. And then and then he flies home, right just in time. And then he learns that this alien can fly. This alien can fly. So this alien can fly. Has a sharp tail, and it can spit some sort of goo. And a passive effect is he stinks. Now for the rest of the school year, Deku and Bakugo are just normal. Bakugo totally just got over it, after booing Deku like 10 more times, it got out of his system. And then, people have been seeing more and more of Deku's quirk. But Deku has been doing this for a reason. So that way, he's confident he's going to get into UA. And he knows Bakugo's going to be there. So when he gets in UA, he's going to, so that way people don't question him, And he tries to do it without people seeing the watch. Bakugo sees it sometimes, but not a lot. He still thinks it's a normal watch and says, "This is a part of my quirk. That's why I can't take it off." Get it? And it feels like I'm actually, when I even touch it, it feels like I'm touching my own skin, if that makes sense. So it's technically a part of my quirk. Okay? So now Bakugo is getting mad, which causes him to train more. And now people know Midoriya can turn into 10 transformations, into transformation quirk, but he has a time limit. So, Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it here. But, nah, I'm not that tired anymore. So, I'll just cover the whole, entrance exam thing. Now, Deku already named his aliens during the 10 months now. And during the 10 months, he's been training his body. Now, Deku is as buff as how he was Deku was buff as how he was at the end of the 10 months training. Basically, that's the same. And, that's the same. But Deku, he's a little more buffer just because, he wants to make his transformation stronger. But all his transformations are still at the same thing, but, he knows he's gonna have to fight without them one day. So he just, buffs up, So, if I have to guess, he's about Season 2 Deku. We never really saw Season 2 Deku's build, but, he's still about Season 2 Deku. And he's gonna stop working out there. Anyway, how Deku, studies for the test is he uses gray matter and, studies for the test. There was once, though, where he was trying to turn to gray matter, but he turned into heat blast and almost burned down their house, And Midoriya's mom would have asked more about the quirk, and then Deku would just decide to tell her the truth about how it's not really a quirk, and it's the watch. Anyway, that's all for now. The Mario still gets one for, I already said that. Anyway, but now it's time for the exam. Now, Bakugo's still being mean to Deku. He's like, "Get out of my way or I will explode you." Should I just make it a quirk kind of thing? No, I can't just make it a quirk. And then Bakugo says what he says, But Deku's more confident, so he doesn't trip. And again, I'm replacing Ochaku with Momo. Anyway, he doesn't trip. And, Deku gets, the third highest score because, he wasn't allowed to bring in notes, And it's not like he knew what was going to be on the test. He was just reviewing everything, and he read the gray matter notes and stuff. So he got, top 10. Probably, no, but he got, 8. He got 10. He got 10th place. Yes, he got 10th place. Just because Ben 10, 10th place. So anyway, he got 10th place. Now that he has and now he does get in the exam, he knows he did good, And now he's ready for the thing, That whole thing with Ida did happen, but that whole thing with Ida did happen. Everything the same happened, When President Mike said start. Okay, now Midoriya was thinking about what alien he should use, and President Mike said start, and he was like, "Oh, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do?" And then Midoriya is either thinking of being Stinkfly because he could fly up and like trap and immobilize the robots, or even rip them apart with his tail if he had to. He could either choose forearms and just destroy them with brute strength, or upgrade and be smart about it. But he ends up choosing upgrade, and then Midoriya starts hacking the robots. So Midoriya starts hacking the robots, and like he starts using the robots against each other, and he starts like he transforms the robot into like a transformer. Like he transforms the robot into like Bumblebee, and starts like destroying the robots, shooting them and stuff. And then Ochako is coming for help, and then he goes and now at this point, remember, Bakugo has been training harder. So he got like 20, he got like 15, 20 extra points. And now Midoriya is at like 52 points. Because again, like the robots for the design test didn't have miniguns. So it's not like he could rip them off. He could use the miniguns, but he could upgrade the machine to make guns. But still, and he had to find a robot that wasn't destroyed. So now Ochako's getting trapped by a rebel, and then he runs and to go grab the three-pointer robot and breaks it down into part. But as he breaks it down into part, he starts falling. And he's like, stupid Omni. He's like, Omnitrix, please work, you stupid device, work, I'm about to die. And the failsafe would have pulled in and turned him into like Ghost Freak or Diamond Head, but Ochako ends up slapping Deku, which results in her using her quirk, which makes Deku not fall. And Deku says thank you, and they talk out all of that before the exam ends. Because again, I'm replacing Momo with Deku, okay? I'm replacing Momo with Deku. We're not gonna have that. She walking. I say, oh hey, thank you. Anyway, then Midoriya, he goes home, blah blah blah, gets the letter. Damn it! Sorry, I just hit my knee. He got, hold on, let me think about what place to get, because I don't want him to get second place, and I know he's not going to get first, but let me think. I'm back. No, he's going to get second place. He could have gotten first. He's gonna get second place. He could have gotten first place, but Bakugo. He could have gotten first place, but let's just say Bakugo rescued a random person who didn't get in just because they were about to be destroyed by a robot. So that's why. Now Midoriya. Now we're gonna stop it right before like the whole fitness test. Now Midoriya's going to UA, and his mom is like, "You be careful. Make sure your watch is working." He's like, "Okay, mom. Bye. Love you." And then, he's going early, like 1 hour early. And then he's just sitting in class, and he sees Eraserhead walk in, and Eraserhead's like, "Oh my," and Deku's like, "Oh my God, you're Eraserhead?" And then Eraserhead's like, wow, I didn't think someone else was gonna come this early. And Eraserhead in his head is like, who is this kid? And then Momo and Todoroki walk in like 2 minutes after each other. But Momo walks in first. And then Momo introduces herself. It's like, hi, my name is Momo, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, hi, my name is Midori, Suzuku, blah, blah, blah. And they start talking, and then Todoroki comes in, and Deku introduces himself to Todoroki, because Todoroki, and that at this point, he was still cold to everybody. He wasn't ready to show them his fire yet. Got it? I got it. Anyway, and they all start, this is going to be a new group. No, I like Ida, but I'm not going to put Ida, this is going to be a new group, okay? Okay, now they're talking about quirks. Now talking about quirk, and Deku tells him he has a transformation quirk. He can transform into 10 different beings with their own singular things, but he can only be those beings for 10 minutes, and and the cooldown time, and he can only transform every 15 minutes from when he de-transforms. And everybody's like, okay, that's actually kind of strong. They introduced their quirk, and he's like, hey, I have a transformation that could help with your ice quirk. And then Momo's like this, and then he's like, I have a transformation that could help with your quirk too. And then Bakugo walks in, you could feel the hate. Momo still introduces herself. Bakugo's like, growling at her. Okay, and then they're like, do you know him? And Midoriya's like, yes. He was my middle school bully. Anyway. Now, of course, Bakugo's not gonna question this, because for like a whole year now, Midoriya has had his quirk, and everybody knows now he's a late bloomer, even though, again, it's not a quirk. Anyway, the rest of people walk in. Ochako walks in, introduces herself, says hi to Deku, because, again, I took out all that stuff. I'm replacing her, and maybe even ship them. No, I don't like ships. Why do I keep saying I'm gonna ship them? I don't like ships. Anyway, everybody else walks in, and then, Ida walks in. Nothing happened. Ida, let's just say, now we're gonna have their sheets be the same, but just for this one day, for this one day, either like nobody was like sitting in their real seat. Let's just say like they were talking to each other. Deku was standing up, and blah blah blah. He didn't notice him on school, he dropped his book or something, and then Ida looked back and saw him. And he said, hey, you, and then, but he says what he says in canon. And then Aizawa says, shut up, and they all go outside and change. Kirishima will see how built Deku is. And he's like, wow, man, you're built. Wow, how'd you do it? And he's like, oh, I just, I moved lots of heavy objects, and while working out. And he's like, yeah, and I have to be buff, because when I can't use my quirk, for the 15-minute time period where I can't use my quirk, I have to be able to fight somehow. So, blah, 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 and then the ball throw to Bakugo does the same thing. Now, I know there are 10 exercises. I don't remember them all, but think about 10-minute time limit. I'm gonna say they spend 3 minutes on each exercise, just because, now they spend 4 minutes on each exercise, just because, everybody in the class, there's still 20 people in the class. It's not like they can all do it at the same time, you get it? So, I'm gonna make it that Deku does, the first, he does, I have to stop it right there, just because, there is so much, I'm rambling so much in this next part, it's so annoying, so I stopped it. Basically, Deku turns into forearms, and he does the pull-ups, the push-ups, and the weight test, all in forearms. And then he transforms to his human form, and he does the seated toe touch, the standing, no, he does the seated toe touch, the pull-ups, no, he does the seated toe touch, the sit-ups, and let's just say he did the pull-ups, even if I already said that, in his human form. And then he does the 50-meter dash. He turns into Ghost Freak. He does the 50-meter dash. He does the standing long jump, which he just flies right over. And remember, he's as fast as 5% Deku. And then he does the ball throw and gets about 400 meters, and he gets fifth place, right under Bakugo and right above Ida. So I just needed to say that, because there's so much rambling. Watch the next, thank you, subscribe, like, comment, please. Just comment anything. Anyway, See you next video. And there will be some 18 parts. There's only gonna be like 2 18 parts. But 18 and plus parts. But anyway, that's all.